Let's get to our health news. The Novavax COVID-19 vaccine set to finally receive full approval from the FDA. The agency said Novavax must collect more clinical data from people who received that vaccine in order to get full approval. This comes after a delay in the approval process earlier this month. Joining us to talk about this and all of our health topics, it's Dr. Bill Hartman, clinical trialist at UW Health. All right, doctor, this vaccine, it is available right now. What does full approval do?
So full approval means that it can be produced and distributed without any restrictions. Novavax has been operating under its original emergency use authorization, which you'll remember was how all the first vaccines were distributed. But the only ones who have received full approval at this point are the mRNA vaccines from Moderna and Pfizer. And so for the people who want to have a COVID vaccine but don't want to use the mRNA technology, this is a protein-based vaccine. This is very good news for those people.
Yeah, that old school vaccine has kind of been referred to sometimes. You know, many thought politics was in play with this COVID-19 vaccine's delayed approval. This would be good news, right, for those who want the FDA to really be focused in on the science and keep the politics out of this.
Exactly, and we should always keep the politics out of it as much as possible. There was some question with the new administration about single antigen vaccines, but single antigen vaccines like the Novavax vaccine have been used for years. They have a good safety profile. They've got a good efficacy profile. Novavax is no different than those.
Let's switch gears here. We've talked about this in interviews before. There's been a surprising rise in colorectal cancer among younger people, and there's a fascinating new study out that may be giving us some new insight into why. What did they find?
So yes, you know, the number of colon cancer cases in people under the age of 55 have doubled in the last 25 or 30 years, which has been a huge concern. But out of Nature this week, there's a report that there's a gut toxin called colobactin. And colobactin is produced by E. coli and Klebsiella, which are bacteria that are in your gut. This colobactin, this toxin, really can affect the cells in the gut and damage the DNA, and damages it in such a way that the cells have a hard time repairing that damage and go down a pathway of cancer forming. And so with the finding of this and the finding that the colobactin is present or more present in people under 40 with cancer by 3.3 times compared to people over 70, this could be an important culprit to target as both a screening test and as a target for treatment later on.
And it's good to hear there's a lot of people that are focusing in on the why. Why is this happening? Because it's certainly a change. Dr. Bill Hartman, appreciate your time. Dr. Hartman had some very edgy draft picks, predictions tonight, but I don't want to share them because it might upset some of our viewers.
Go Bears.
I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hartman. Appreciate it.
We'll